Let's take a look at this one here. We have x to the 3/2. Okay, we want to write this in radical form. And so because we have a 2, comes square root of x to the 3rd power. What about 2x? 2x raised to the half. So this just becomes the square root of 2x. Let's take a look at this one here. 5x squared y. And it's all raised to the 2/5. Okay, so this time it's going to be 5 roots of 5x squared y. And the whole thing squared. Moving right along. Now let's go back in the other direction. We got from exponential notation to radical. Going back in the other direction, if we have the square root of 3, then this should be 3 written to the half power. So you see there's a 2 here, but we don't write it, and 3 raised to the 1st power. What about if I had 3 square roots of 10? We can rewrite this as 10 raised to the 1/3 power. 10 raised to the 1/3. If I had the square root of x to the 5th, this can be rewritten as x to the 5th. Well, I didn't mean to write that. X to the 5th, and the whole thing is raised to the half. But you can multiply the exponents, and this becomes x to the 5/2. Okay. What about this one here? 3 roots of a, we'll use a different letter, to the 15th power. This is written as a to the 15th. And it's all raised to the 1/3. But this can be rewritten as a, right, 15 times 1/3. 15 over 3, but that can reduce down to 5. A to the 5th power. All right. We're moving along, converting from exponential to radical. We have 6 roots of s to the 12th. So this becomes s to the 12th raised to the 1/6 power. You can multiply those together. S to the 12, so that just becomes s squared. Should be getting s squared, reduces to s squared. What about this one? The square root of x raised to the 5th, and that's all over the square root of x. Okay, get this in exponential form. So we have x to the 5th over x, and the whole thing is raised to the half. But this reduces down to x to the 4th to the half, right? Because this is x, you got 5 x's in the numerator, 1 in the denominator, so we can reduce that to x to the 4th, and then of course you would multiply their exponents, and this becomes x squared. 4 times a half is 2. Reduces down to x squared. What about this one? We have 4 roots of underneath that, we have 5 roots of x. Whew, what is that going to be? Well, let's look. Uh-oh, I dropped my pen. So this becomes 4 roots of x to the 1/5. But then that can be written as x to the 5th, all raised to the 4th. What do we do with exponents? You multiply them, so this becomes x raised to the 1/20. Hey, you should be catching on by now. What else I got? Is that it? I think that's it. All right. That's it for this section. We're moving on to bigger and better things. Hopefully, you've kind of seen how to go from exponential form to radical form, back and forth. Need to know that. All right, and I'll see you in the next video.